We have seen three ways that we can report our confidence interval estimate of a population mean. Let's review those. One is to write this notation here. Another is to say the point estimate plus or minus the margin of error. And the third was to use interval notation, where we have our lower confidence level or limit, comma, upper confidence limit. So the question is, if we're given the confidence interval, can we find the point estimate, x bar, the sample mean, and the margin of error? So, given the confidence interval, find x bar and e, the margin of error. Well, we can do this the same way as we did when we found p hat and the margin of error when we were looking at the proportion. So, x bar is just right in the middle of our confidence limits. So we take the upper confidence limit plus the lower confidence limit, and we take the average of those, and that'll give us the x bar that was used to create that confidence interval. The margin of error, recall, the distance between the lower limit and the upper limit is 2e, right? We get e to get here and another e to get there. So if we take the difference between the upper limit and the lower limit and we divide that by 2, that will give us the margin of error. So let's work a quick problem. Okay, here's an example. Write the following confidence interval in all three forms, all the forms we mentioned before. Okay, so to do that, we need x bar, the sample mean, and e, the margin of error. Okay, our confidence interval is 2.1 and 5.7. Okay, so x bar is the average of those two, the upper limit plus the lower limit divided by 2, or 7.8 divided by 2, 3.9. E is the difference between the two divided by 2, or 1.8. So now we can write it in the three forms. We have our point estimate, sample standard deviation, 3.9 minus 1.8, less than mu, less than 3.9 plus 1.8. So we're writing it in that form using the different parts. Okay, x bar minus e, x bar plus e. Okay, and now let's put it in this notation where we have 3.9 x bar plus or minus our margin of error. So that's another way we can write our confidence interval. And then in interval notation, 3.9 minus 1.8, comma, 3.9 plus 1.8. So it's good to understand the component parts of a confidence interval estimate, and that's what this is helping us do. And so we're often given an interval and asked to find these parts to give us that understanding of what the confidence interval is made up of.